Brought to you in association with Grendel Press. This is Werewolf the Podcast, a serial killer drama.
William Marshal. There are many things that can bind two men together. Years of friendship, shared faith, shared blood, shared hardship, or surviving the unpleasant experience of watching someone remove a sword from your stomach. It turns out that the last of these hastens matters considerably. The morning after the battle dawned with that peculiar brightness God seems to reserve exclusively for days following wholesale slaughter. Birds sang with irritating enthusiasm. Crows cawed as they fed on. The breeze carried the scent of spring flowers, as though it had somehow overlooked the hundreds of corpses we had politely left decorating yesterday's battlefield. Bastard plodded happily along the road towards Normandy. Beside me rode Gervais. He was humming a tune so badly that I was fairly certain he had invented it. Fenrir padded silently alongside our horses. No one looked at him. No one ever did. To everyone else it appeared that I occasionally glanced into empty fields and smiled to myself like a man who had suffered one too many blows to the head. Well, they were not entirely wrong on that score.
So?
Gervais said, eventually. So?
You've still not explained the stomach.
I was hoping you'd forgotten I was.
I watched the sword go through you.
It was a memorable sword.
You bled.
Aye.
And then you stopped bleeding.
That I did.
You somehow healed?
Well, I do seem to have recovered somewhat. He frowned at this.
You should have fucking died, William. That wound.
Well, I considered it for a moment.
And what?
Why, I decided against it, I did. He sighed.
I tend to have a great dislike for mysterious people, William.
I'm not mysterious.
I beg to differ. You've got a hole in your mail and no hole in your belly, William. Where there was a hole.
I repaired one of them. I'll get to the other one in time.
Well, you most certainly repaired the most interesting of them, I suppose.
Fenrir chuckled at this.
He's proper persistent, isn't he? I like it.
You seem to like everyone who attempts to stab me, you do.
Not everyone.
Most? I accidentally said out loud.
Aye, most.
I smiled, despite myself.
What was that?
Gervais asked. Oh, nothing.
You've done it again.
Done what? I don't know what you mean.
You keep smiling at absolutely nothing, William.
I was merely admiring the countryside. There are cows, as you can see, and they seem pleasant enough. He looked suspiciously at the cows.
Don't trust them. I don't trust them.
You don't trust cattle?
No, they're like big geese.
I nodded solemnly. A fair point it is. We rode for a few more miles in silence. I could tell that Gervais was in a quandary of sorts. Then, the Seine glittered to our right, broad and slow beneath the morning sun. Ahead of us lay the Chateau de Tonquerville, where my lord, William de Tonquerville, awaited news of the campaign. Home. At least as much of a home as I possessed at this time.
So, I know you just as William at the moment.
Gervais said. Aye?
But, whose son are you?
John Marshal. His eyebrows climbed.
Ah, hopefully not the John Marshal.
I'm very glad that there has only ever been one of such as he.
The fellow who fought and went against King Stephen?
The very same.
The one who started a civil war?
Well, I believe others helped.
Ah, the one who was prepared to have his son killed, rather than surrender.
I looked ahead. The road suddenly seemed more interesting than the conversation.
So the stories are true.
Some sadly are, that's for sure.
I heard the king threatened to fling you from a trebuchet.
I think it would have been terminal and a very unpleasant way to travel.
Yes.
He laughed.
I also heard that your father said
He hesitated.
he told them to fling you at the walls because he still had the hammer and the anvil to make more sons.
He did say that. Gervais waited. I expected some humor given the scenario spoken about. You know, mockery perhaps. But his grin just faded into seriousness.
He really said that?
He asked. Yes, I'm afraid he really did.
Bloody hell.
Aye.
I thought that had become much more sort of colourful with the retelling.
I rather wished it had. For a while, neither of us spoke. Eventually, he cleared his throat.
Well,
Aye?
my father once told me I was worth at least 3 pigs.
I turned to him. 3?
Good pigs, good pigs.
Oh, I see.
He wasn't a wealthy nobleman, you see.
No?
Our estate was so small that when visitors arrived, Mother had to send one of us outside so there'd be enough room indoors.
I laughed.
It wasn't funny at the time, William.
It sounded a little funny.
We only had one servant as well, and he only had one arm after the bull incident.
Only one?
Yes, and he kept threatening to leave too.
Why?
He said he wanted to work for someone richer.
Did he?
Oh, yes, he did, yes.
What did your father say?
Well, Father told him if he ever found anyone poorer than us, that he should let us know so we can look down upon them as noble people.
I laughed properly then. Oh, yeah, that's a bloody good one, that is. Gervais looked pleased with himself.
My father maintained we were one failed harvest away from becoming peasants with unusually impressive ancestors.
I think I should like your father.
I genuinely don't think you would, William.
Why not?
Well, he'd probably try to borrow some money off you, to be honest, and you wouldn't get it back if you were daft enough to give it him.
Fenrir's tail swished behind us.
He laughs easy, don't he?
That's one of the reasons I like him.
Oh, you already like him? I rather think I do too.
Fenrir was quiet for a while. Then
Why don't you tell him?
I blinked. What? What do you mean?
Tell him about me?
I looked sideways at Gervais. He was busy trying to convince his horse not to eat a roadside hedge. No, I cannot.
Why?
Because he is a Christian knight.
Well, so are you.
What exactly?
Or if he is truly your friend.
You think I've welcomed a demon into my soul? Fenrir said nothing. After a long silence, he answered quietly.
Perhaps, I suppose.
Perhaps.
Or perhaps he'll surprise you.
Or perhaps he'll put a spear through my heart while I sleep. Fenrir's great head dipped once.
Aye, I suppose that's possible too.
Who are you talking to?
Gervais asked suddenly. I should not speak out loud to my wolf-souled brother. The words stuck in my throat. This was the moment. I could tell him. I wanted to tell him. No more secrets. No more pretending to smile at empty air. I drew a breath. Gervais. Then Bastard stopped. So did Gervais' horse, Jemima. Around the bend ahead rode perhaps 30 mounted men. Mail glinted. Helmets shone. Their shields bore colors neither of us wished to see again. They'd seen us. Worse, they'd been waiting for us.
Oh, shit.
Gervais said quietly.
I was hoping they were on our side.
So was I.
They're not, are they?
No. The riders spread across the road with practiced ease. Behind us came the sound of more horses. I looked back. Maybe another dozen. We had ridden neatly into the middle of them. Into the middle of a trap. Gervais counted silently.
I dislike arithmetic, but these are very poor odds. Not the noblest of ventures, William, but do you think we could, outrun them, maybe?
Not unless bastard here has secretly learned to fly. Fenrir stepped forward. The great wolf's ears flattened against his massive head.
I can kill him with you.
Flashed into my mind. I know.
They'd be dead before they realise what's bloody happening.
I know.
Come on, William, just ask.
I closed my hand around my sword hilt. 30 years on from now, perhaps I would have asked. But not today. Not before a man whose friendship had become unexpectedly precious to me. Not in the presence of another Christian knight. And not before I was ready to lose everything. The enemy commander urged his horse a few paces forward.
In the name of the Count. Which cunt?
Interrupted Gervais. The soldier smiled.
Throw down your weapons, or you will die.
Gervais glanced at me. I glanced at him.
You still owe me a drink.
He sighed.
I was rather hoping to collect it.
Reluctantly, very reluctantly, we lowered our swords. William Marshal. There are many indignities in war. Being stabbed, being trampled, being struck in the face by another man's frightened horse, being struck in the face by your own frightened horse. But of all the humiliations I have suffered over the years, I believe being tied to a tree whilst wearing only my undergarments ranks among the very worst. Gervais shared the tree with me. The soldiers had seen fit to bind us together to a tree's thick trunk. The rope had been pulled so tightly that I suspected they had once secured siege engines for a living. They had taken everything. Our swords, our mail, our shields, our boots, even poor Gervais' wineskin. The last theft had affected him far more deeply than even the loss of his own sword. Broke my heart to see him injured so.
They've stolen my bloody wine.
He protested. His hopes seemed to have left him at this, his greatest loss. They've stolen all our possessions, Gervais.
Aye.
And you're concerned about the bloody wine.
It was very good wine.
Aye. I must admit it was.
That's because you drank most of it, William.
I apologized for that already.
Yes, you did.
He sighed heavily.
I accepted your apology, did I not?
And I thank you for it.
I've since changed my mind. How's a man meant to sleep if he can't get blackout drunk? These men are barbaric.
Then he laughed. Fenrir lay comfortably beneath the tree with his great paws crossed. To anyone passing, I was staring thoughtfully at a patch of grass.
You've chosen a right interesting friend there, haven't you?
Swum into my mind. He's growing on me, I sent back in the thoughts we shared.
What, like fungus?
I was thinking more like ivy.
Fungus is proper more dependable though, isn't it?
I smiled. Gervais noticed.
There you go again.
What? What do you mean?
Smiling at absolutely nothing.
Why, I remembered something amusing, that's all.
I hope it didn't involve my wine.
Well, it did, actually.
You're a terrible man.
We laughed again. Around us, the enemy camp had settled into that lazy confidence soldiers possess after believing the dangerous part of their day is over. They laughed, cooked stolen chickens, sharpened their weapons that had already done enough work. One fellow had somehow acquired a lute despite possessing only the vaguest understanding of music. He was bravely murdering it. Eventually, Gervais broke the silence.
Do you think they'll try to ransom us, William?
I believe that's their intention.
Do you believe Tankerville will pay?
I considered the question honestly. No. He nodded. Definitely no, I said with a hint of a smirk and amusement at this. We both sat quietly for a moment, pondering this as it would be a significant problem for our near future, it would. Then, simultaneously, we both burst into laughter. One of the guards looked over suspiciously. You two over there, what's so funny, huh? He barked at us.
Nothing.
Gervais replied cheerfully.
We were discussing our market value. I arrested 3 pigs, apparently.
The guard frowned. What? Market? Huh? What? He was not very bright, this one, I'd have to say. Gervais looked at me.
Oh, what do you think I'm worth, then? 3 pigs?
I tilted my head. What, you mean as a knight?
Ah, of course as a knight. It'll take him far too long to decide, you bastard.
I'm trying to be generous, I am, you see.
I do appreciate such.
Perhaps, 3 cows.
Just 3 cows?
Well, they would be good cows,
I hoped for at least 4.
he said, pretending to be hurt by my decision. You've had a difficult day, you have,
You're right, I have.
he said, regarding me and smiling. I've adjusted for the bruising, you see. He nodded thoughtfully.
Ah, seems fair.
And me? I asked him.
Let's see.
He looked me up and down.
1 horse. And a damn decent one at that, I say.
I've gone up in the world.
I'm not saying a particularly expensive horse.
Ah.
One with oodles of spirit, yes.
Oh, I see.
But, one that's probably difficult to feed. Bites without warning every now and again,
We laughed again. The guard stared at us and shook his head. I think they are simple garlands. He muttered to another soldier who I assume was called Garlon.
I bloody heard that.
Shouted Gervais. So did I. Hey, you! I'm not bloody simple, I told the guard.
Are you saying I am?
Asked Gervais, looking at me with bright eyes.
Well, what are you trying to insinuate then, if...
That we're tied to a tree, not death, I told him. The guard shook his head and wandered away. Fenrir's great amber eyes watched him leave.
Guard's confused.
Most people are around Gervais.
No,
Fenrir's tail swept lazily through the grass.
he can't understand why 2 men who may die tomorrow are laughing today.
I looked across at my friend. Friend. A curious word. Yesterday, he had been a stranger, but today I trusted him with my life. And perhaps that is how friendship truly begins. Not over years, but over shared danger, shared fear, shared laughter.
You've chosen well.
came the thought of the giant wolf soul. I do hope so, Fenrir. I do hope so.
He'd die for you, you know.
We've only just met, we have.
Time's not a measure of loyalty.
Before I could answer, a wineskin bounced off my shoulder. It was empty. A soldier stood, belched and staggered towards us from those sat around the fire. He was broad as an ox and walked with all the elegance of a collapsing windmill. His face was red with drink, and his eyes had given up attempting to focus. He tried to piss on us, but he reached into his uniform and held his pissing organ, but forgot to take it out before releasing his gush, which filled his boots like a stinking waterfall. He did not seem to notice or care.
So,
He leaned in very close to Gervais.
these are Lord Tankerville's mighty knights, are they? Ha!
His companions laughed. He poked Gervais in the forehead.
I expected bigger, you know. I usually am after breakfast.
Gervais replied. The laughter stopped. The soldier's smile disappeared. He struck Gervais across the face with the back of his hand. Hard. Fresh blood wet the lips at the corner of Gervais' mouth. I wouldn't do that, I said quietly. The soldier ignored me. He leaned closer to Gervais.
You think you're a bloody funny man, do you?
Although Gervais was tied up, he was doing his best to get away from the guard's damp pants and his distressing halitosis.
On occasion.
The boot caught Gervais full in the ribs. I heard the breath leave him. He folded against the ropes, but somehow managed to grin through the pain.
I've had worse treatment for a jest.
Another kick. This one lower, between the fork of his legs, and much harder. The laughter from the other soldiers grew louder. Gervais?
I'm fine, William.
He lied. He most certainly was not. And the soldier kicked him again, and again, and again, until I had lost count. Each blow landed with the dull sound of leather striking flesh. Each blow would create significant injury to my friend. Only the ropes stopped him from falling. His head hung forward on a limp neck now. Blood dripped steadily onto the earth. I pulled against my bonds. The ropes bit into my wrists. They did not move. Leave him alone! I squealed.
Oh,
He smiled.
you care about this one then, eh?
He said before kicking Gervais again. Something cracked on impact. Not loudly, just enough. I knew that sound. Broken ribs. Gervais coughed. Bright red blood splashed onto the grass. The smile had finally left his face. He whispered something, ignoring the soldier drawing a foot back again. What? I asked him.
You, William.
He coughed again. More phlegm and blood fell onto the grass at the base of the tree.
You still bloody owe me.
Another cough.
A drink.
Another kick struck home. And through the suffering of my friend, I had reached my limit. And that was enough. Fenrir stood, very slowly. His hackles rose. The air itself seemed colder.
William,
I know.
if we do this,
I know.
he'll see the real us.
I know this.
The others will see the real
I
us.
know this too. The soldier drew back his boot once more, this time moving to line up the kick for Gervais' head. Fenrir's voice became something ancient, something vast, something that had once hunted beneath stars no man remembered.
Enough!
I closed my eyes. I could save my secret, or I could save my friend. There was never truly a choice. Enough, I whispered. Fenrir lowered his great head. Together, I smiled. Despite everything. Always. And with that, the world changed.
Gervais. It is a strangely singular thing, pain. At first it is everything. There's no room for anything else in your head but the sensation of it. Then if it is kind enough, it becomes distant, like church bells heard from across a valley. The boot crashed into me, hitting me somewhere in the ribs, or perhaps the shoulder again. It hardly mattered anymore. I had long since lost count of the kicks I was receiving. I remember thinking that I should probably say something witty. I usually did say something witty. It was, I don't know, the thing I did, because others expected it of a man with a reputation like my own. Instead, all that came out was blood and a broken tooth. I tasted the iron. The world tilted and wobbled. The kicks, well, they no longer hurt. I just noticed the world shake from my sideways aspect at each impact. Thank God himself the pain was gone, and I knew I was going to die. I felt truly thankful in that moment. And then someone was shouting. William, I think it was William. Then silence, not true silence, the sort of silence that arrives just before a storm tears the roof from your house. The soldier standing over me suddenly stopped smiling. His mouth fell open and his eyes fixed upon something beside me. No, not beside me, beyond me. His face drained of every colour God ever had invented. I tried to turn my head. My left eye had swollen almost completely shut. My right refused to focus properly. I blinked. William was there, and then he wasn't. There was no flash of light, no bolt from heaven, no explosion. The young knight simply ceased. For the briefest heartbeat, he dissolved into black mist. Not smoke. Smoke rises. The darkness flowed as though it possessed purpose. It folded in upon itself, gathered, became something. It stood where William had been. It was enormous, 24 hands high, perhaps more, broad enough to make an ox appear underfed. Its fur was blacker than a moonless midnight. Its eyes, God preserve me, its eyes burned as if they held the flames of hell itself. No, not like fire, like the very stars hated you. The soldier made a tiny sound, not a scream, a child's frightened whimper. Then the creature moved. I had no memory of it crossing the distance between them. One moment it stood beside me, then the next, a tearing, crunching sound, and then a falling mass. The soldier simply stopped existing in any useful sense. I was sprayed with a warm shower of, then there came the sound, screams, terrible sounds, screams, bones breaking, men screaming, horses shrieking, screams, canvas tearing, someone praying, someone begging, someone calling desperately for their mother, but mainly screams. The great beast roared. That's the wrong word. A lion roars. Thunder roars. This was older. It was the sound of something that had hunted mankind long before mankind had learned to fear wolves. I tried to look, I did, but the world refused. Everything doubled, then trebled. My head lolled against a tree. I caught glimpses. A huge black shadowy shape moving impossibly fast. A man lifted bodily from the ground, a pair of jaws with knives for teeth closing around his head and neck, worrying the head free and gulping it down as the rest of the torso was thrown yards clear, collapsing another tent, and a man who was brave enough to draw a bow. I saw the arrow fizz from the bow, and it hit the creature straight in the chest with a thunk. It looked at it, confused, then simply plucked it from itself before slowly moving towards a man who was busy limping and screaming, trying to get away from the demon. The demon walked him down slowly and swatted him with a sickening crunch into the darkness. Around me there was blood, bile, bodily fluids, and how would you describe it? Bits. I mean, I've seen battlefields, but this was bits of men, so much blood. I heard laughter. No, not laughter, no. Growling, deep, contented, almost joyful. Dear Lord, it enjoyed this. I tried to pray, but I could not remember the words. I settled for apologizing to God in general. Someone ran past me, I think. There came another scream, then another, then nothing. No shouting, no horses, no steel. Birds, how inconsiderate of them. I remember thinking that birds ought to show a little bit more respect. And then suddenly, the darkness took me. Someone was shaking my shoulder.
Gervais.
A familiar voice.
Gervais.
I forced my only working eye open. The morning sun stabbed straight into it. William knelt beside me. He was weirdly completely naked, covered from head to foot in mud, blood, ash, and snot. His hair clung to his forehead with sweat and other wet things. His chest rose and fell as though he'd run from Normandy to Jerusalem without stopping. His hands, they trembled. He looked afraid. Not for himself. Was it for me?
Gervais.
His voice cracked.
Are you hurt, my friend?
I stared. My thoughts moved as though swimming through honey. I looked at him, then around us. The camp had gone. No, not the camp, just the men. Every one of them lay broken, some where they had originally stood, some impossibly far away. One poor fellow appeared to have reached the top of a tree without any obvious assistance. The earth had become mud, but not from rain, from blood. I looked back at William. He was trying not to meet my eyes. He already knew. He knew what I had seen or thought I had seen. He reached out carefully as though frightened I might strike him or something.
Gervais.
There was such sadness in his face, such guilt, such hope. I realized then that he was waiting to discover whether he had lost something far more precious than a secret. He was waiting to discover whether he had lost me. My mouth was dry, my ribs screamed, my head felt full of broken glass. I swallowed. My voice came out as little more than a whisper. William. He looked up.
What?
I struggled to find the words, not because I did not know them, because I wished with every fibre of my being that I did not, need to ask them. What in hell? I looked into those gentle blue eyes of his, the same eyes, the eyes of the man who had promised to buy a drink for me. What the hell are you? William did not answer. He just dropped his chin to his chest. He couldn't maintain eye contact. For the first time since I had met him, the man, the boy, I was afraid of my friend.
Brought to you in association with Grendel Press. This is Werewolf the Podcast, a serial killer drama.